This is the Angry Birds Bird Minute, sponsored by Angry Birds for their 15th anniversary, where we tell you all about a cool bird that may or may not be angry. This week's bird is the Dracula parrot. With its distinctive black and red feathers, you might expect to find this large parrot in a Transylvanian castle, but it's found exclusively in the hills and mountain slopes of New Guinea. Another reason for their spooktacular common name is their vulture-like appearance. Much of their head lacks feathers, giving them an eerie look that you wouldn't associate with most parrots. But are they angry? With a name like Dracula parrot, you might expect these birds to be a scary vampiric monster, but you won't find Dracula parrots drinking blood. These birds feed almost exclusively on figs, and their lack of feathers is simply to ensure that all that sticky fig juice doesn't make a mess of their plumage. On a scale of 1 to angry, we rate the Dracula parrot as misunderstood.
This is Wild Green Streams. I'm Rhett, and we are doing the 10 Days of Meme-mas, in which we count down to the new year by telling you all of the history of Wild Green memes. Luthfon asks, is it Fiends since the beginning, or was there a point when it was called Wild Green Memes for Ecological Friends, and then the name was changed to Fiend? Well, Luthfon, we actually get this question all the time, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of the people listening right now are finding out for the first time that Wild Green Memes for Ecological Fiends isn't called Wild Green Memes for Ecological Friends. But the group that was eventually called Wild Green Memes for Ecological Fiends has actually gone through many iterations, both in search of its proper name and as a joke afterwards. The first name, and I had forgotten this entirely until I looked back on the log and the group description, actually was Wild Green Memes for Ecological Friends, just like you said. I must have only kept this for like 10 minutes or a couple hours or something, because it looks like I changed the name 2 more times that day. When we started in 2017, there was a trend of naming groups in the format ABC Memes for XYZ Teens. Like the group we spun out of was a university group called Swampy UF Memes for Top 10 Public Teens, for example. So I assume based on that and the difficulty of even pretending to rhyme memes with friends that I quickly changed the name to Wild Green Memes for Top 10 Ecological Teens. That was the next one. But that name didn't really make total sense because Top 10 was a reference to UF's ranking on some silly university list, and we aren't a UF specific group. So I remember that once someone pointed that out to me, I switched it to be Wild Green Memes for Ecological Teens. Still teens, the second closest to the name we'd eventually land on. Then about a month later, I changed it for some reason to Wild Grouse Memes for Management Teens. I was on a real Aldo Leopold kick. If you don't know who he is, but want to understand the philosophy behind natural resources management in the United States, you should check out a book called A Sand County Almanac. He wrote that. We had to read this in college as wildlife ecologists. It's hard to overstate this little book's impact on the profession. I guess I'm still kind of on an Aldo Leopold kick, at least for his land ethics stuff. But surprise, surprise, that name wasn't exactly a hit. And one person mentioned that they would rather not be in a group called For Teens, since they were in fact not a teen. So I changed the group name again, this time finally finding the full name of the group, Wild Green Memes for Ecological Fiends. So it took about a month to get there, a little over a month. That stuck for a while until April Fool's 2018, when one of my roommates from college, who is an aerospace engineer, changed the name to Wild Gray Memes for Aviation Teens, and then carried out our first and still one of my favorite pranks on the group, pretending to convert it into an airplane enthusiast meme page for the day. We switched it back after April Fool's was done, then kept it that way until the Toucan Wars of January 2019. More on that in the final episode of this series. One thing I will mention though is that part of why we don't change the group's name very often anymore is that we had grown to a size where Facebook would only allow one name change per month. After that, we only changed the name one more time as an April Fool's joke in 2021. In that one, we were changing it back, I didn't realize that at the time, to Wild Green Memes for Ecological Friends. Just because so many people misread the title and they kind of Bernstein Bears themselves. Many people seem to think that that's the name anyway, Luthfun, so you're in good company if you didn't join at that time. But it's very possible you actually did see the group name as Wild Green Yada Yada for Friends. Well, that's the full story of Wild Green Memes' name history. If you like the show, you can power the pod and get cool merch in the mail by going to our Patreon at patreon.com/wildgreenmemes. That's memes with an M. If you sign up by December 31st, 2024, we'll send you an Elf on a Shelf sticker sheet, which is basically just a rhyming game sticker sheet. It has a bunch of different stickers in it of different animals and natural phenomena. No association with the actual Elf on a Shelf brand, of course. And you can put these stickers together on whatever you want. You can rhyme them together. It's kind of like a puzzle. It's kind of like a game. It's kind of like a sticker sheet that just has a lot of nice stickers on it. Until next time, I'm Rhett, and happy Year of the Raccoon.
7 episodes until we reveal the secret history
Of the Toucan Wars!